trends every year. Thousands of scientific research papers are published around the world, many of them in the field of psychology. Now, while these psychological studies may seem complex for the average person to read, applying their insights in real life is often surprisingly simple. That's why in today's video we're sharing 12 mind-blowing psychological facts that, once you know them, you'll never see yourself the same way again. 1. What hurts the most? Let's ask you a question, honestly, what hurts the most? When we talk about pain, most people immediately think of physical pain, but according to psychology, pain is of two types. Physical pain, from injuries, accidents. Social pain, from rejection, loneliness, or emotional exclusion. Here's the shocking part. Psychological studies show that rejection activates the same brain areas as physical injury, meaning a breakup, equal sign rejection, equal sign real pain. So when people say just move on, they don't realize your brain is sending out an emergency signal. After all, the human brain is wired to connect, not to be ignored. 2. Cognitive dissonance. Ever felt deep down that the thing you're defending is wrong, yet you keep fighting for it? That's a psychological trap called cognitive dissonance, when your brain holds two opposing beliefs at once. Example: you're loyal to a partner, leader, or ideology, but deep down you start seeing proof they're not right. Your logic says walk away, but your brain says, I can't believe I wasted so much time on this. In toxic relationships, you might even blame yourself for the red flags. The more you try to prove you were right, the deeper the trap becomes. The only escape, brutal honesty with yourself. 3. Illusion of control. When you roll a dice in Ludo, you throw it harder for a 6 and softer for a 1. Why? Because it feels like you're controlling the outcome. That's the illusion of control, a cognitive bias where we think we're in control of chance-based situations. In real life, we do this all the time. Buying lottery tickets we chose ourselves, feeling lucky about a card we picked, but truth is, the outcome was always probability-based. It's not control, it's just hope. Why doesn't a RS-2 watch seem expensive next to a RS-10 Because your brain anchors the first number as a reference point. This is called the anchoring effect, a trick brands use all the time. First impressions stick, whether it's salary negotiation, shopping, or dating standards. Whatever you hear or see first becomes your brain's anchor. Which comes first, thought or emotion? Let's test this. Ever walked into a room and suddenly felt weird for no clear reason, or jumped at a loud noise before realizing it was just a book falling? This is the affective primacy hypothesis discovered by psychologist Robert Zajonc in 1980. It means your emotions react before your brain can even process what's happening. Why? Because emotions are fast, automatic, and unconscious, and we humans, we're emotion machines running on gut feelings before logic kicks in. Ever yawned just because someone else did? Smiled because someone was laughing? Felt like crying seeing someone else cry? That's mirror neurons in action. Your brain doesn't just observe, it feels and mirrors what it sees, without permission, without thought. Just like how pets sometimes imitate their owners. It's real, it's human, it's empathy wired in biology. This is one of the biggest psychological glitches we all fall for. It's called the fundamental attribution error, where we judge others' behavior based on their personality, but excuse our own behavior based on circumstances. Someone overtakes you on the road. What a jerk. You overtake someone. Sorry, I'm just late. A man yells at kids in a park. What a grump. Next day, the same kids ruin your white clothes. You yell too. We judge others without context, but justify our actions with excuses. That's the bias in action. Ever had someone refuse to talk to you directly and instead use a third person to pass the message? Or heard something someone said about you through someone else, causing tension between you and them? That's triangulation, a manipulation tactic where one person uses a third party to maintain control, create confusion, and divide people. It happens in relationships, families, and workplaces. The goal: confuse, divide, and dominate. The antidote: be direct, be aware, be unshakably clear. Healthy relationships don't need middlemen. British anthropologist Dunbar studied thousands of social connections and discovered something fascinating. Your brain can only maintain about 150 meaningful relationships at one time. These are people whose emotions, presence, and connection you can genuinely feel. Why 150? Because maintaining real connections takes time, energy, and emotion. Even those 150 are divided into inner and outer circles. Did you know that people who own aggressive breeds like Rottweilers or Pit Bulls often display higher levels of anger and hostility? No, it's not always a match of personality, but certain environmental factors like living in high crime areas, dealing with chronic stress or lacking social support can make owners more defensive. Hence, they pick guard dogs as a form of psychological protection. You probably remember what happened yesterday, but do you clearly remember what you were doing exactly 1 year ago today? Likely not, but you do remember your teenage memories, first heartbreaks, first job interviews, and those awkward early adulthood moments. That's the reminiscence bump, a phenomenon where your brain stores ages 1030 most deeply. Why? Because it's the time you build your identity, make key emotional memories, and shape who you become. Stop daydreaming. Heard that in school? At home? Turns out, daydreaming is a creative superpower. Psychologist Jerome L. Singer revealed in his book Daydreaming and Fantasy that people who daydream activate their brain's default mode network, the area responsible for imagination, reflection, and innovative thought. While most people turn off their DMN to focus, creative minds keep it on, even during hard tasks. That's how they keep connecting ideas invisibly. Think J.K. Rowling got the idea for Harry Potter while working on a spreadsheet? No. She was daydreaming at a train station. So, next time you catch yourself lost in thought, don't stop. Your next big idea might be hiding in your daydream. Daydreaming = high intelligence plus creativity. If this video inspired you, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's keep unlocking the mind together.